Hello and welcome to Baking and Log. My name is Gunnar Larson and today is part number 2 in Christmas and Log. Like I said in the previous video, Christmas is my favorite holiday. I love it. It's a great time to spend with family and friends and celebrate the birth of Christ, which is very important to me. So today we're going to be making another Christmas themed recipe. This recipe is really easy to make. It's peppermint bark. And no, it's not like you go to your Christmas tree and shave off some of the bark and then put like candy canes on there. That's not it. No, this is dark chocolate and white chocolate melted, and then you have candy canes crushed up and you put those over and then you freeze it and you get these, like, break them off and you have these nice little pieces of candy that you can bring to Christmas parties, put in goodie bags, or just have them sit around in your house for snacks. Really simple and easy recipe, and I'm excited to make it today. So let's get started. The ingredients that you're going to need to make these are going to be white chocolate chips, dark chocolate chips, candy canes, and then you're going to need a 1/4 teaspoon of peppermint extract in each of your chocolate chips and your white chocolate chips once they've been melted. And then the items that you're going to need are going to be a 9 by 13 inch pan lined with parchment paper. You'll need a spatula, a knife, and a rolling pin to crush up your candy canes. Now that we have all of our ingredients, we can get started making the recipe. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to crush our candy canes. I have my rolling pin. I took out the candy canes from their wrappers and I put them into a Ziploc bag like this. Here, I'm going to spread it out. Rolling pin. I'm just going to go back and forth. As you're rolling the candy canes out, keep in mind, you do not want candy cane dust. You want candy cane chunks. So as you're going through, make sure you roll them out well enough that you have all the candy canes broken up, but you don't want to have a bunch of dust, because then you won't have the candy cane pieces that you bite into, which is like the crunchy part of the candy. Now that we're done rolling out our candy canes, we're going to start melting our chocolate. So now for our chocolate, we have our vanilla chocolate chips and our dark chocolate chips. We're going to put them into the microwave separately for 30-second intervals, stirring in between each one until they're completely melted. Once they're completely melted, we're going to put a 1/4 teaspoon of peppermint extract in each one, just to give them a little flavor of peppermint. You're only putting a 1/4 teaspoon of peppermint extract in there because we are putting candy canes, which are quite pepperminty, on top of them, and we don't want to overwhelm the chocolate flavor with peppermint. Now that our chocolate has been completely melted, we're going to take our peppermint extract and we're going to put it in our chocolate. Then just mix together. We already did this with the white chocolate, so now we're just finishing up with the dark chocolate. It smells so good. Cinnamon and peppermint are like, they're like my food kryptonites. I prize myself on trying to be a healthy eater and like staying away from sweets and candy, but if it has cinnamon or peppermint, like peppermint hot chocolate, can't give it up. So now that our chocolate has been melted and the peppermint has been mixed together, we're going to take our 9 by 13 inch pan and parchment paper, press it down in there, and we're just going to pour our dark chocolate first. Pour it out into the middle, and then with a spatula, we're just going to spread it across the pan. Guys, this smells really good. With the peppermint, I was smelling this like really strong, and I was worried that I'd put too much peppermint in there, but we tasted a bit of the chocolate, but it's just, the smell is just so strong. There's just like a hint of peppermint in the chocolate, so a 1/4 teaspoon was a really good measurement to use. But this it just smells so good. I just want to eat all of it like right now, but I can't. You know why I can't? Mr. and Mrs. Meunier are expecting some of this. Told them that I was going to make them some Christmas stuff. They were kind of upset because last week they didn't get any of the Christmas tree cupcakes, so I'm going to try to make it up to them and give them some peppermint bark. Keep in mind when you're pouring in your chocolate that it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, you're going to be breaking this into bits and pieces, not perfect little squares. So just make sure it's kind of evenly spaced out a little bit, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Once all your dark chocolate's been poured in, we're going to take our white chocolate and pour that on top. Since you've already poured your dark chocolate and it's still wet, when you pour your white chocolate, you want to drizzle it across, and then with a spatula, very lightly just take the top layer of it and spread it out. Alright, so now that your white chocolate's been spread out, you're going to take a knife, take it in the corner, and this is called marbling. We're just going to kind of swirl the white and the dark chocolate together. And what's happening is, as I'm doing this, the white chocolate is coming down and the dark chocolate is coming up. So it's not just going to be two layers, it'll be mixed together. Now that your chocolate's been marbled together, now we can start putting our candy cane bits on there. Just take a handful, lightly sprinkle across, kind of press them down into the mixture of the chocolates, and then continue the process until you're all out of candy cane. Make sure you're spreading them out evenly. You don't want like a whole chunk of candy canes over here and then non-candy canes and then candy canes. Make sure they're spread out evenly so each bite you get a nice clump of candy cane. Now that all your candy cane has been spread out across of your chocolate, you're going to put this into the freezer for about 20 to 30 minutes until it hardens. Alright, so now once you have freezered or refrigerated your chocolate, we're going to take it out, set it down, and it should look like this. Now we're just going to take with our bare hands, just going to break pieces off. Before we break it off, you want them about the size of your palm. A little bit bigger, a little bit smaller is okay, but around this size. Break it off, set it on a plate. Well, that's it today. They turned out really nice. They're done, they're completed, they taste really good. Might have had a little bit as I was breaking them up. Like I said, this is a really easy recipe. I had a lot of fun making these. This is really nice. Nice Christmas festive with the candy canes on there. I hope you enjoyed part 2 in Christmas in Log. And don't forget to go check out Baking in Log on Instagram and subscribe if you haven't already, and like the video. I'll see you next week. Bye.